my informative speech on how retail stores have adapted and recovered due to COVID 19. This is not a really talked about subject as far as COVID goes, because it's not like the most important or like life threatening part of COVID that happened. But retail stores did go down when we had a nationwide shutdown because they weren't necessary stores to be open. Like, we didn't need these stores in order to live. But at the end of the day, these stores lost so much money and they affected our economy very much because of them not being open and getting the regular amount of sales that they get between now and previous years. So, right here is a picture of a Victoria's Secret that was closed, and most stores had the same kind of signs posted. So, as I was saying before, there was a loss of profit. When COVID first hit in March, there was a nationwide shutdown. So, all the stores open to the public were no longer open as normal. It was something that I've never experienced in my life, and same with everybody else, because this was the first pandemic this extreme in like 100 years, because the last one was like the bubonic plague, where people wore masks and everything was shut down. This is kind of something similar, a little bit more modernized, but the stores that weren't necessities did lose millions of dollars. For example, Victoria's Secret was forced to close 250 stores because they were so used to relying on the money that they'd made between March and June that they were forced to close 250 stores in Canada and in America. It was even heard that they went bankrupt. So I don't know if they're still bankrupt because their stores are still open. They're probably dealing with some debts along with other stores as well. So this was just a picture of one that was closed down. Obviously, you can see this was amidst the pandemic because the guy is wearing a mask. Once the stores reopened, which was around June, for a lot of stores, some things started opening in May, like the shutdown started to open retail stores and stuff like that. A lot of new regulations were in place. Mask signs were everywhere. Sanitization stations, I've noticed, have been everywhere. A lot of hand sanitizer has been distributed that is made with a different kind of alcohol, because we were with a shortage of hand sanitizer for about a month, but we got a mass produce with ethanol alcohol, so that smells a little bit different. So some people have complained that the hand sanitizers distributed at these stores for customers to use smell really bad because they're made with a different alcohol, but they do the same thing. They're just cheaper to make and there's more supply of it. But the masks have caused angry customers with not just retail stores, but with grocery stores or literally any other public place. Some people have gotten recordings of people screaming at each other, employees just trying to explain that this is like the state mandate, but some people are saying this is violating their rights. So it's kind of a wishy-washy scenario that we've never had to deal with before, at least in retail or any other kind of company, because we never used to require masks. But now that we do, people are saying that it's violating their rights. But at the end of the day, if you are on a premise that is not owned by you, you have to follow their rules, abide by their rules. So therefore, the retail stores are usually in the right when it comes to those situations. But as far as getting back to normal, it is now November and this has been going on since March. People have become more lax with like social distancing. I feel like there's not as much fear as there was at the beginning, but I know there's been a lot of things put in place to ease the 6 feet apart to remain the social distance as far as plexiglass in stores, as it's shown right there in that picture. This is in almost every store, every grocery store, especially if you're going to be that close to a cashier. They want to make sure that that 6 feet is still regulated without having to space the customer apart, because how would you pay? It just wouldn't make any sense. So that is another way they're trying to adapt, is to put plexiglass. That's started like in banks, but is now everywhere, pretty much. Places that you're going to be face to face with somebody. And finally, something that retail stores have been got from the pandemic was the profit of masks. So masks became a huge, not style because we have to wear them, but a lot of companies have been using them for style. As far as Victoria's Secret goes, they've been selling these masks, these pink ones, and they have the Victoria's Secret ones that are sold for $9.50. Many other companies are doing this as well, with their own logos on them, with their own patterns, their own materials. There's so many different kinds of masks now that you can buy, and that is one way that our economy has gone up, I guess, like not a new item because masks were a thing before, but like this, sales of masks have skyrocketed since the pandemic. So this is just one way that the retail world have tried to recover from missed sales. Obviously, they're not going to recover from $9.50 masks, but this is just one way that is boosting the economy just a little bit. But yeah, that is my presentation. So thank you.